president's plans now to do away with the enormous deaths here in the United States. 30,000 people a year die from gun violence in the United States. Is there any part of the president's new strategy you would support?
Sure. And what I would advise the president, having spent 16 years prosecuting gun violence, is we need to do a much better job prosecuting current gun violators. Wolf, gun prosecutions are down over the past 10 years. If you look at the current background check denials, in 2012, the last numbers I saw were 80,000 background check denials. Out of those 80,000, there were less than 500 prosecutions. So before you ask for new weapons in the war on crime, it is fair for me to say, how are you doing with your current weapons? And there's a very small percentage of our fellow citizens who are criminally inclined, very small. So if you can put them in jail for a gun violation before they commit murder, before they commit a mass killing, why is that not a better strategy?
Well, are you suggesting, Mr. Chairman, that those 80,000 or so who were denied an opportunity because of their background checks to purchase a gun should be prosecuted?
Absolutely. It's against the law to lie in the application for a firearm. It is against the law to seek a firearm if you're under indictment. It is against the law to seek a firearm if you're a convicted felon. There are large categories of people who cannot possess or purchase firearms, and our prosecution levels are anemic and declining in those areas.
So when you ask the administration why they're not prosecuting these individuals, what's the answer you get?
Well, I have asked both Attorney General Holder and Attorney General Loretta Lynch, and I am biased towards prosecutors. I admit that up front. They tell me these cases lack jury appeal. Nobody gets that better than I do. I've stood in front of lots of juries and didn't have an appealing case. Murder is appealing to a jury, but your objective is to prevent the murder. So you have to prosecute them for that fundamental violation, whether it be a background check, whether it be a felon in possession, whether it be you've been court-martialed and you're in possession of a firearm. All those categories are prohibited persons. Wolf, you probably know this. If you're not in the country legally, you can't possess a firearm. If you've overstayed a visa, you can't possess a firearm. So what are you doing with the current laws before you tell me we need more of them?
Are you going to support the president's proposal for $500 million, $500 million to increase the issue of mental health, to make sure that people who don't have proper mental health can't go out there and buy a gun?
Well, I am supportive of the concept of people having access to mental health. You don't know this, Wolf, and there's no reason for you to know this, but I had a gun pulled on me outside of church a couple of years ago by a woman who was adjudicated unfit to stand trial. She was criminally irresponsible. So I have lived coming face to face with somebody who does not know the difference between right and wrong. So I support the notion of getting people access to mental health, but it's already against the law for anyone who's been adjudicated mentally ill or mentally deficient to access a firearm. So it would be fair, I think, for Anderson tonight to say, Mr. President, out of those people who